Getting ready to hang this gorgeous Sandberg Raphael wallpaper. It's going to go in the back of my bookshelves that I just finished installing and painting. And I was a little bit torn on whether or not I wanted to install wallpaper, and ultimately I decided this beautiful wallpaper can only make things better, right? So this is paste the wall wallpaper. It's not pre-pasted, so I've got my wallpaper paste, paint tray with my paint roller in order to roll the paste onto the wall. I've got a brush here that I'm going to use to get into the corners. I have my spreader, plastic spreader, in order to smooth the wallpaper out on the wall. I'm going to use this as my straight edge for cutting it. And I've got a bucket of fresh water and a washcloth in here. If I was doing a really big room, I would go ahead and get a sponge. It just makes things faster and easier, but because I'm doing such a small area, we're just doing inside the back of here and inside of the back of the other shelves. This is, I think, all we need. So I'm going to start in this left corner, and I'm just going to start all the way in the corner. I've already taken my level. This is plum. And what I think I'll do is I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get started. And just a quick note, this is my daughter's room, by the way. These closet doors, I am going to install some shirred floral fabric here. That's why the center's not painted, just this part. So come back for that video. I'll link to that video right here in the cards. You can watch how I do that next. All right, so that's the first step. I'm going to set this aside, adhere my papers. And the beauty of pasted wallpaper, whether it's paste the wall or pre-pasted, is that you can slide it around on the wall a bit. It's not like the sticker wallpaper where you have to get it in place just right. Definitely need to have a sharp blade. Okay, perfectly plumb. So I'm moving this on the very flat with my spatula so that there's no chance that I will rip into the paper. Now I'm going to take my clean water and just make sure that I didn't get wallpaper paste anywhere on it. Okay, just making sure I don't have any bubbles anywhere. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to match up the pattern before I put the next row of paste on here. All right, there it is. It's likely a 27-inch drop. I'm not sure about that, but that's pretty typical. So that's it. So now I can cut this. Now I'll paste the wall. I'll tell you that pre-pasted wallpaper does actually move around a little bit easier. I'm going to trim this long. Let me get the wallpaper paste off the bottom here. There's definitely paste here. And you know what? I probably should have done is I probably should have centered this. I should have centered one and done half pieces on either side. I'll do it over there. I can't believe I did that. Do you see what I mean? I should have laid it out because I should have had this piece here in the center, so I had a tree in the center and then like a half a tree on either side, instead of now I'm going to have one tree over here. But I didn't think about it because I didn't unroll a roll and lay it out completely, but it'll be okay. There's going to be a lot of stuff on the shelves, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. And I'll probably be the only one who notices it because of my experience with fabric still. Okay, so the last bit, I am going to go ahead and match the pattern, and then cut my piece so that I don't have to go so far around that corner with the whole big piece of wallpaper. So I'll match my pattern and then cut my width so that it's a little bit narrower. What I need is 6.5, 6.5. Okay, so it's 6.5 the whole way. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this 7 inches. I'm gonna take it to my cutting table so that I can make it very perfect. Okay, so I brought the wallpaper to my cutting table in order to make sure that I got a nice even cut. And I think for that side, I'm gonna go ahead and measure and cut my 3 pieces out ahead of time, which is probably the way you should do it. But I'm just winging it because it's such a small space. So here we go. I'm gonna paste up the wall and put this on. You definitely want to be generous with your paste, just not sloppy. I almost did it upside down because I don't have any branches in here. I have a bracket on the wall here in order to go around, and it's very difficult to cut around it. Let me wipe the paste off here before it dries and makes a mess of my paper. Okay, so this side is done, and now I know what not to do. So I'll give you a few pointers. One being remove all obstacles in your way. So I had these brackets up here that hold my shelving, and there was a little space behind them, so I thought, well, I can just go and kind of tuck the paper in behind these wood bracket things, and it was next to impossible. It worked out over here because I only had just a tiny centimeter of paper to tuck back there. So that worked out easily, but this side I left myself about 1 inch of paper just in case, and that was not a good idea. So remove all obstacles for sure. And number 2 is go ahead and cut all your lengths of paper ahead of time. It makes it so much easier. So that's what I'll do over there, and I'll show you that when I get to that side. Okay, next side. And like I said, over there, I'm gonna cut ahead and I'm gonna center that piece. So here's the wallpaper on my cutting table. This is going to be my center piece, and then I'll put 2 pieces on either side, so I have the pattern in the middle of that wall. So that's the center. Now I need to match the pattern. Let's see, this is an offcut from the other side. Let's see if this will work. Good. The offcut from the other side looks like it's going to work. Okay, so I'll match the pattern on the other side and we'll see. So I'm just putting a little notch or a little slit with my rotary cutter in the wallpaper there so that I know where I need to cut the top, and then I do the same thing at the bottom so that I can then use my rotary cutter and my ruler to cut the top and the bottom of the paper really straight with my cutting mat. Okay, so this is the middle one. All right. This one. Now I've got to figure out if this is 21 inches wide and I need 48. So what's 48 minus 21?
27.
Okay, divided by 2?
13 and a half.
So 13 and a half, 13 and a half plus 21 is what? Okay. Mark your pieces. So I'm going to go 14. Oh, good. Good, good. I'll still get some of my tree in there, so that's good. And sort of fold it in half so I can make it all in one cut. I'm going to start on the right-hand side here and go to the left because that corner there is going to be the least apparent. When you walk into the room, you look right into that corner, so I want that to be nice and neat. And I actually like the washcloth because you can actually feel the wall under your hand. So I feel like it gives you more feeling than with the sponge.
So the pattern matching takes a little patience, and definitely take your time on this, and if you don't get it exactly right, take it back up and try again. Make sure that you get your patterns matched just perfectly and your seam will completely disappear. So with the wallpaper project complete, I semi-styled her bookshelves with things that she had, and her room is almost complete. I still have to put the fabric on the closet doors. I need to make the Roman shades for her windows. I still need to buy a duvet, a feather duvet, to go in her duvet cover on her bed. As you can see, that duvet cover that I show on her bed is flat, so I need a duvet cover in there. I still have to do a little bit more baseboard. So, but all in all, the room is getting close to complete.
I am absolutely thrilled with this gorgeous Sanderson wallpaper. It's not sponsored. I wish it was sponsored. I actually bought this wallpaper. It's not cheap, but it's worth every penny. So if you want to see the video on how I made these bookshelves, or this library wall slash vanity area slash desk and drawers for next to nothing, watch that video right here.